What my peeps, wagwan, and in another language that would be hello my peoples. How are you? What's going on in your life? My name's Dr. Drwendydearborne, and I am in the house today with another episode of You and the Laws of Attraction. So guys, welcome to You and the Laws of Attraction. Today is Tuesday the 24th of January 2023 and the hour is 1 p.m. So guys, welcome to the show. You and the Laws of Attraction. What is this show all about? Well, it's a show that's all about me, it's all about you, and it's all about the ability of us or for us to make choices in the best interest of self, so that we can live the life that we want to live. So what does that really mean? I, Dr. Drwendydearborne, yours truly, is a choice expert. And what does that mean? It means that I assist and support you in finding clarity around the choices that you want and that you want to make for your life. Only you know what choices you want to make. Only you know this. And then I support you by sharing with you information about the universal laws, and it's laws plural, not universal law. The universal law is part of the universal laws. And so I share information with you about the universal laws so you can actually utilize them skillfully and efficiently so that you can begin the process of creating the life that you say that you want to live. Whether that's health, whether that's wealth, whether that's relationships, whether it's a job, whatever it is. Yeah? The power is within you. So guys, once again, welcome to the show. We are 3/4 of the way through January 2023. And if you have effectively fallen off your New Year's resolution, guys, I'm going to encourage you by asking you 3 simple questions. What does it look like for you to get back on track? What does it feel like for you to get back on track? And what does it sound like, guys? Paint me a picture. Or what does it taste like? What does it smell like? Paint me a picture. Engage your 5 senses. What is it that you are wanting for your resolution? Okay, that being said, enough. I will not continue to badger you with that. And be sure to check out foodbeyonditsnutrition.com. You'll find a lot of juicy deliciousness on a plate stuff there. That's where I share food recipes and all this sort of jazz. But that being said, every time you hear this sound, ooh, that was a bit loud, but okay. I suppose the louder the better. Every time you hear a bell ring, that means I'm going to be saying something that I consider to be pertinent, and or something that I want to punctuate the point without shouting. I want to punctuate the point. So what's today's show about? Today's show is all about, or the title is called Over Here and Over There, the Impact. Yeah? Over here and over there, the impact. And you might be like, that title doesn't even tell me a thing. Yeah, you're kind of right about that. But listen up and you will definitely hear. So guys, recently, all right, I'm just writing something. Sorry, guys. So recently I was having a conversation, and it was one of these intense conversations with somebody. And they were speaking about how they really disliked. In truth and honesty, it went beyond that. It was like how they hated this person over there who we'll call person X. They spoke passionately and at length. And, they gave all these details about what was wrong with person X. They basically said that person X didn't need to be here because they were taking up valuable space and they were using up valuable air. They went on to speak about this other person, and this other person we're going to call person Y. And they were speaking about person Y over there in glowing, warm, compassionate terms. the thing that was really ironic to me is that they went on to say that they know person Y over there is probably worse than person X over here. But they just couldn't even stand to look and think about person X. And you know, guys, this left me a tad baffled. So I did what I do best. I listened. And then I asked a couple of questions. And these couple of questions I asked were for my clarity. Because, guys, whatever you say... Okay, I'm going to say this. It is never, ever, 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 ever a good idea to assume that you know what someone is saying. Never. So I asked this question. So let me get this straight. You've said, and this was something that was said during the conversation, you've said that you have never, ever, ever met person X or person Y. You don't know them other than what you see of them in the media, etc., etc. And yet, this person X over here is someone you hate so much. You never met them, but you hate so much so that you would energetically align with this person over here, and that's person Y, knowing without a doubt they are just as bad, and by your own words, they're just as bad, if not worse, than person X over here. And I received my answer, so I've got total clarity. And the answer to all my questions is, yeah, categorically that's what they would do. That they would rather align themselves with person Y, knowing that they may be worse, because for whatever reason, they were not feeling, actually went beyond that. They were not. Person X was a waste of space. As I listen to them, I always go to this point of how is this going to affect you for manifestations and things like that you want. And that's where my brain goes. Now, I will say this. What the person I was speaking to has chosen to do or say is right for them. It's all to the highest good. And in truth and honesty, whether I agree or disagreed with their opinion, that's my opinion. So I honor their opinion and their expression because it's about them. But as I just mentioned, what alarmed me was, as a choice expert and somebody who understands the universal laws, is that the person doesn't even, or the person who was speaking to me, they didn't even realize that their attitude, their words, their passion, their belief about this entire situation has negation energy stamped all over it. Negation is a form of denial. And denial cancels out your desired manifestations. Negation impedes manifestations. And there is a law, a universal law of negation. There is also a law of denial, and they work in simpatico. It's amazing to me. Oh, let me ring the bell on this one, guys. Let me ring the bell on this one. Ding dong bell. It's amazing to me how many people miss their blessings because they talk all over themselves. Like the person who was talking to me. And as I said, it's all to the highest. I honor that. But what I do realize is that people talk all over themselves and they don't realize the power of their words. They don't realize that everything that they do, everything that they say, everything that they think, every deed, every action, everything is connected and it has a knock-on effect. Guys, did you hear me? everything that you do, everything that you think, everything that you say, every deed that you do, every action that you take, including no action, is a choice and has a knock-on effect in your life. People like to compartmentalize their lives, not understanding that each and every compartment interfaces with another. It's like a giant jigsaw puzzle. And this interfacing is paramount. You see, each compartment brings something to your existence. Each compartment brings something to the manifestation process. It brings something to your energetic field and what you put out there. In fact, the compartments that we create form an interlocking network. And guys, this network isn't unilateral. Erroneously, people think it is, but it isn't unilateral. Okay? It is highly dependent. It is highly dependent. And hear me clearly, these compartments are not codependent. Okay? They're dependent, but not in a codependent kind of way. But the compartments that you have in your mind, where you store information, like if something really bad happened, you put it into this box, this compartment, and you close the door. And something really happened, absolutely beautiful thing happened, and you put it in this compartment and you close the door. And when you want to think on this, just because, you're in that mood or that space, you open the door and you remember this happy event. And it still fills you with the warm and fuzzies. In the same way, you have this compartment over here and you've closed it, but you open the door because something bad's happened. And it fills you with the same kind of angst that it filled you with when it happened. So these compartments, they are not codependent, but they are independent. And really, they form a kind of authentic symbiotic relationship that you have, that takes place within you. They actually they're harmoniously coexisting. They're harmoniously coexisting. You see, one can actually exist without the other. But they come together. Once you start having these compartments, they form an interlocking network, guys. And it's important to remember that. Now, when you negate and use negative energy or negation energy, what happens is that the thing that you want to manifest won't manifest. It may get just to the point and it dissipates. If you're having those experiences in your life where things are getting just to the point, and they get just to the point and it doesn't happen, or you almost always have enough money, but then just never enough. You get well, and then for a day you're fine, and then next thing you're sick, or it's just one health issue after another. Or it's just one thing after another in the job, or it's one thing after another in the relationship, it's one thing after another with the kids. It's just one. If these are the things that are happening to you, I could guarantee with my hand on my heart that negation, the universal law of negation, is being invoked in your life. And because I understand people and how people talk all over themselves, I believe that yes, the universal law of negation is alive and well. Your manifestations aren't coming. Your manifestations aren't coming. People assume, and this is what people do, right? People assume because they are meditating, affirming, praying, going to church, proselytizing, tithing, volunteering, donating time, money, skills, clothing, resources, food, whatever it is, that they get a hall pass for invoking the universal law of negativity or invoking the universal law of negation and practicing in negative or negating behaviors. While I own that the person I was speaking to was definitely entitled to, it's their divine right to express themselves. But by expressing themselves without doing so correctly, they've just created a world of hurt in their lives. They are setting up scenarios where that which they want to manifest will not manifest. See, people, as I said, assume because they're meditating, affirming, praying, going to church, proselytizing, bringing people into the fold, tithing, affirming, volunteering, donating, time, money, resources, skills, etc., that they get a hall pass for those kind of behaviors. Well, no, you don't. Ironically, in their guesstimation, a hall pass should somehow magically eradicate all the stuff that they're doing over here so that they can get their desired manifestation. They can get their realizations. They can receive the blessings for the prayers that they have put forth. They are working on the fact that the hall pass negates all of those behaviors. All of those words, all of those passions about hating this person. You don't even know the person. You don't even know the person, but hating the person. People assume that they should get a hall pass because, as I said, they're meditating and are doing all the things that they're doing. And they feel that the hall pass, if it doesn't negate everything and make balance the scales and get everything right, at least the hall pass should take down any major hurdles that are standing in the way of their desired demonstration. That's what they feel. That's truly what people feel. It's important to understand that what you do, what you say, what you think, what you believe, what you know or think you know, what you imagine, what you visualize, what you affirm, what you want. All these things, they touch every facet of your life. Okay, guys? They touch every facet of your life. It's your living, breathing reality. It's your living, breathing reality. And I say this fairly often on the show. If you want to see what your thought process is and what you're manifesting, wherever you're at this moment, I need you just to look around you as long as it's safe. Don't take your eyes off the road if you're driving and listening to this. But when it's safe, I need you to look around you. When you get back to your home or your dwelling, I need you to look around that. When you get to your office space, I need you to look around there. When you're with people in your life, the people who are in your life, I need you to look around and see who they are too. That will tell you what you're really thinking. What is another reality is, this thought process, this whole past thought process has a lethal stinger attached to it. Yeah? Okay, guys? We don't get hall passes. How about that? We don't get hall passes. Not in this life. Just as the saying goes, we don't get it. This isn't a dress rehearsal. This is the real thing. This is not a dress rehearsal. It's the real thing. All we get are choices. And once you've made a choice, that choice is yours. It's like your DNA. It's ownership. It goes to the point of creation where creation can come back to you as manifestation. Unformed into form. Unseen into seen. Intangible to tangible. Creation. One of the ironies is whatever compartments you have created, you whatever compartments you have created are now needed to support the organization of your thoughts. And those organizations of your thoughts actually become the visualizations within your mind. And your visualizations support your manifestations. And just so we're crystal clear, once you have created a compartment, you actually don't get to destroy it. Energy can be brought into form. It can be neither destroyed nor created. Actually, it is brought into form and molded and shaped. Just like if you have Play-Doh, it's molded and formed into shape. So if you have created a compartment, it's much like your physical and or spiritual DNA. It can't be destroyed, nor can it be changed. The only thing that you can do is move it out of form by filling that inner space of that compartment that you've created with another thought process. And so hopefully, guys, that's kind of clear. Now, we as people fail, and we fail epically to realize that what we say, what we think, what we believe, what we do over here impacts our manifestations and our blessings over there. We erroneously think of our lives in unilateral terms, but not, as we say where I'm from, not nagosa. It nagosa. You don't understand it, nagosa. Right? Nothing, it's not like that. It's not like that. The reality is that we are living on a manifesting linear continuum. It doesn't have contingencies it doesn't have unilateral contingencies. What do I mean by that? An action will get a reaction, and that always stands. I don't care what year, it could be year 3023. An action will always get a reaction. This is how the universe, this is how the world as we know it to be, and the cosmos as we know it to be, was and is and continues to be created. So guys, hear me clearly. Hear me clearly with this. Let's ring the bell on this. Hear me clearly with this. You cannot be as negative as all get out in one part of your life and then hope to manifest the desires of your heart in the other part of your life. Did you hear me? You cannot be as negative and negate things in your life and hope to manifest the desires of your heart. That's not how that works. That is not how that works. That's not how that works. Or put another way, guys. Okay, let's break it down like this. You can hate me for who I am. You can hate me for my beliefs, the color of my skin, my traditions, my tribal norms, my successes and my failures. You can hate me simply because I am different to you, even though you don't know me. You get to do all of that because your life, my life, our lives are based upon the choices that we make. Our choices about our free will and our freedom to choose for self in what we feel is the best interest of self. You are free to think, say, and do whatever it is that you want. And I'm not talking about being politically correct, PC. I'm not talking about the legalities that are attached to this statement. Because you truly are free to say, think, and do what you want to do. You really do get to choose, and I mean this, what you think, what you believe, what you say, and the actions you choose to take based upon those thoughts and those beliefs. You get to control all of that. You get to control your choice-making process. It's important to know that your ability to choose goes beyond the human birthright. It's indelibly stamped upon your soul right. It's indelibly your soul right. Now, here's where the caveats all go. Interestingly, you get to do whatever it is that you want to do. The universe, being equal in all things, gives us freedom of choice. And that's as far as that goes. Because the flip side of the coin is, for me, for you, for us, we don't get to control the reaction to our action. Okay, guys? Listen up. Hear me clearly. Hear me clearly. You can do whatever you want, but you don't get to control. You don't get to control the reaction to your action. That's not yours. You only need to review your life to know the truth of this statement. You don't have to review anybody else's. The only thing that we, me, you, us can control is ourselves. Which is the only thing that you get to control are you and the choices that you make in life. That's the only thing. Because if you look at your life, you'll be able to control all the things that haven't happened the way that you wanted. All the things that have been done to you that you feel that you shouldn't have. You'll be able to control all of that. So let's circle back to the blog, back to the beginning. For me, Wendy, I've always been shown that me, you, all of us, we get to choose. If you choose to hate this person over here, so much so that you knowingly choose and energetically align yourself with someone exhibiting the same traits over there, and, well, simply put, that's your divine right, right? So you do that, knowing that they're worse. That's your divine right. This is your God-given universal right for you to choose. But the caveat is, here comes the rub. So too is it the divine's right, God's right, or whomever your chosen deity is, Spirit's right, not to allow you to control the outcome. Not to allow you to control the outcome of your choice. You see, you have made an action, taken an action. Choice is action. And the universe reacts. Okay, guys? You choose, God reacts. As I keep telling you guys, stay in your lane. Know the manifestation process. Know how prayers are answered. You ask and God creates. Yeah? People wonder why they're unable to manifest what it is they want in their lives. Much of it has to do with their belief in feeling worthy of it or that which they say that they want. And a lot of it has to do with the negating behaviors that they perpetrate against self. Much of it has to do with negating the manifestation or blessing by the negative words that they use and their negating behaviors. You think talking about hating somebody and really meaning it to the point where you say they're a waste of space and they're taking up space and they're taking up much needed cubic air. Guys, for me, Wendy personally, yeah, I'm thinking this is a negative behavior. But that's my guesstimation. What will truly be the proof of the pudding? There you go. What will truly be the proof of the pudding is whether or not they're getting what they want in life. And I'm here to tell you, I'm going to be really honest. I know they're not getting what they want in life. Are they doing well? Yeah, they're doing well. Could they be doing better? They could be doing better by 1,000% by utilizing that energy to pour it into what it is that they truly want to manifest for themselves. Instead of pouring that energy into negative and negating behavior, so it undoes. You see, guys, the universal law, let's see if I can find this. Give me a second, guys. I should have pulled this up. Please forgive me. All right. The universal law of negation is a powerful law that must be used judiciously. It can be invoked both consciously and unconsciously. The law is invoked through the power of your spoken word. And that's it. The universal law of negation is invoked by the power of your spoken word. And invariably, your words are negative, or they're words of denial. The universal law of negation allows you to deny something with intention and purpose that sets into motion something, excuse me, guys. Sorry, guys, forgive me. The universal law of negation allows you to deny something with intention and purpose. And intention and purpose against something that you have set into motion, which will render it void and ineffective. Negation transmutes, it's a denial. It transmutes manifestation energy from active to inactive. This is like saying to God, I've changed my mind. I actually don't want that burger. Can you stop it? Even though it's hit the grill, I don't want it. Yeah? You see, the caveat here with all things like this, when you're negating or denial, and denial can be really powerful. But the caveat here is when you make a denial, when you are practicing negation or denial, that space, as I mentioned earlier, that space must be filled with what you want. It has to be filled with something different. Because if it's not, this powerful law will do what it does best. It will go to your inherent fear and negate that. All right? And when I say negate that, what I mean is you might have said, oh my God, I am so broke. I need money to pay my rent. And then you start doing all the work that you need to do. You start doing the affirmations. You start doing moving visualizations. You start, giving money away as symbolic that you are not afraid of it, coming to you. But the underlying fear is there. And so you've negated that you don't want X to happen. But you haven't put anything in its place. And so the universal creator, has to use that energy. It's moved out of form. It needs to move into form. This is energy. Energy is always moving. It is never still. And so it's going to go to your greatest fear. And it's that you won't have the money. And that you'll never have the money. Or you'll just get to the point where you have just enough but not enough. On the day it's not enough. And that's where the manifestation goes. That's where the energy goes, and that is what manifests. Negation is not about saying no. Negation actually denies the existence of something. That's how powerful the universal law of negation is. But that being said, guys, when you deny something, you need to focus with intention and purpose. Intention, attention, and purpose. You need to refocus that energy on what it is that you want. Because if not, it'll start going through your fears, which is why things happen to you the way in which they do happen to you. Because while you're talking all this stuff over here, the universe is creating for you over there. Look, people. Okay, how do you overcome that? Okay, let's go there. All right, how do you overcome that? Right? How do you get your blessings and stop, negating yourself or shooting yourself in the foot for all intent and purposes. So how to overcome this? Choose to take a hard, raw, authentic look at yourself. Ask yourself if you are behaving in true integrity in all areas of your life. And you get to say yes or no. But actually, you will know if you are by what's happening around you. Are you being judgmental? Are you passing the blame? Are you taking accolades that are not yours? Do you lie to yourself and others? Are you making false promises? Are you making claims that are not yours to be made? Are you being cruel? Are you being harsh? Are you being petty, bigoted, racist, hurtful, mean, spiteful, harmful, angry, melancholic, sexist? Are you being vengeful? Are you being a tyrant? Are you being controlling? Are you being manipulative? Are you being Machiavellian? Are you being inflexible? Are you being unkind? Are you being unforgiving? Are you being joyless? Are you ungrateful? Are you uncompassionate? Are you disinterested? Are you talking about people behind their backs? Are you gossiping? Are you being malicious? Because your life's not going right. If you were doing these things and more, all the above, it's going to impact how you show up in life, and it sure as hell is going to impact in how life shows up for you. Your manifestations and your thoughts, or your manifestations, come through you. They don't come to you, they come through you. So one last analogy as we wind up. Okay, one last analogy is this. An easier way, because I did the hate me thing, but let's look at it this way. You don't like cats, and that's fair enough. If you are being cruel and unkind to your neighbor's cat, if you're being mean and hateful, then this has a knock-on effect and impacts your dreams and the things that you want to manifest. Or it impacts your prayers being answered and your blessings being received. It blocks all of that. And guys, it's fine not to like cats, but to be cruel, to be unkind, harmful, that's a totally different thing. And it creates a different vibe. And it invokes the law of negation. So for you, it's about looking at yourself and your self-talk. What are you talking about? Believe me, guys, as petty as this all may sound, you might be talking about so-and-so gets on my nerves and this and that. And oh my God, the phone rings and you roll your eyes, but you take the call and you're only half listening. And you're being disrespectful because you're either listening and playing on your phone or listening and daydreaming and or trying to talk all over the person. Guys, don't do it. Own it. Own it. If you don't want to take the call now, don't take the call. Or you can simply answer and say, look, I can't talk to you now. I've got some stuff going on and yeah, it's all good. But I wanted to acknowledge that I saw your call. But I'll call you back later. I'll call you tomorrow. Blah, 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 blah. That being said, be a person of your word. Be a person of your word. If you tell somebody you're going to call them tomorrow, call them tomorrow. If you leave it open, then you leave it open. You let them know, I'll call you back at some stage, but it will be soon. Or I'll call you back at some stage. And you let it go. Knowing that what you do over here will impact your manifestation over there. Whether you are walking, whether you are being in the world but not of it, Whether you go to church 3 times a week, whether you are a preacher or a deacon or an usher, whether you are part of the spiritual body and belong to the organization or the meetups or whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you feel that you do, it will not allow your manifestation to come through. The behaviors have to change. The behaviors have to change. By praying, meditating, by going to church, by tithing, by volunteering, by proselytizing, bringing people into the fold, by donating your time, money, skills, resources, by helping people or whatever it is that you do, that will not get you a hall pass. Is it good? Yeah, it is good. But the only way to stop those behaviors is by positively invoking the universal law of negation. And you invoke it in such a way that you direct the energy of where you want things to go. If you don't know people, stop the hell talking about them. When you walk in their shoes for a mile, then go ahead on. But until such time, stop the madness. Focus on what you want. Use your attention to flow your energy into what you want. Don't get sidetracked by all this rubbish, and it is rubbish. Don't get sidetracked. It will take you off base. It will take you off track. And sometimes it takes a lot of energy to get back on track. God knows you're living your own life with, your own things that need to be done. So guys, that's been a lot to unload today. I unpacked a lot today on you. Guys, I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborne, and I would like to thank you for taking the time out to join me today for an episode of You and the Laws of Attraction. Today we've been talking about over here and over there, the impact. And I hope this has brought some clarity to you about perhaps what not to do, perhaps how powerful your choices are, perhaps to focus your attention on what it is that you want to manifest in your life, rather than talking about crap that you don't. I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborne, guys. Until next time, peace.